Hi guys, happy weekend to you all, and I hope you people are doing just so wonderful. This day we want to look at how to design a travel agency flyer on your Pixellab application. Shout out to all our returning subscribers, and please, if you are here to subscribe on our channel, just click on the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so that you are always informed, for we drop regular design tips and other interesting tutorials here every 48 hours. That said, I wouldn't like to waste most of your time, so let's get started. So I just want to delete this text as usual, then I begin preparing my background. So the first element I want to work on is my background, and that is why I'm clicking just here. So I'm going to import the background from the gallery, and this is the background that I have with me this way. So I'm just going to click on the square size. I would love to use a square size for this design. Then I shift it completely to this right side. After doing that, you click on the check mark, and this is your background. Great. So the next element we want to bring is some other interesting items, and I have one of it here. So I'm just going to leave the link to get all of this on the video description. Please kindly check it out. So after bringing this, I will just reduce the size a little. Then I go to where 3D rotate it along the y-axis by up to 30 degrees. Then after rotating it by up to 30 degrees, copy it. And after copying it, bring it and place it just above the first one, then tag to back. Now as you tag to back, click on position. So we're going to click on position to make it this way to the left. Then you can even bring it down a little, because we want to make it look like a shadow. So we're going to reduce the opacity now considerably, so that we have something like this. So we can leave the opacity by just 30, and you click on the check mark, then you are good to go. Now go to layer and lock everything up. So we still need to bring in another element, and I have it here. So this is the second element that I would love us to use. So after bringing it here this way, go again to your 3D rotate and rotate it along the y-axis as well by up to 35. I think it's fine. So let's reduce the size a little. Good. So you can place it like this. So after having this, just go to your layer and lock it up, as you can see. Now the next thing we want to do is to prepare this section of the background. As you can see, it has a lot of brightness, so we want to make it a little more darker so that we can put some text on this portion of the background. So the next thing we want to do is just to go to shapes. So just click on shapes, choose this square shape and make it to fit so well on this down section of your design. Sorry about this, guys. So then you click on gradient. After clicking on gradient, we are going to click on the plus button to set the gradient. So as you can see, a gradient is a combination of two or more colors, and we have a black color and what I can term a light white, or somehow a brown color. So we are going to work on it first by clicking here and also here. So we're going to click here, and we're going to reduce the opacity of this completely. Then you click OK, and you further click OK. So what I want to do is to create a gradient that is somehow fading, a fading gradient to blend the background. So after doing this, click on the check mark, click on this check mark, further proceed to click on your check mark, then go to color, enable your color. And I would love us to use the plus button to set our color. We don't want this red color. So after choosing the plus button, I want you to look up here and click on this color picker. So we're going to pick a blue color from this background. choosing it from this point. And as you choose, always look up here on the color monitor to see the color that you are currently working on. So let me just change this and you will see how the monitor is changing. Now it's showing white on color white. Why? Because we are sampling on a white portion of the background. But if we shift it back to this sky blue, then you have the monitor showing us this sky blue color. Please, as you follow the tutorial, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more important design tips. Thank you so much. And we're going now to click on the check mark to proceed. So just click on the check mark. And what we're going to do, watch closely, we're going to increase the darkness of this sky blue. So we're going to make it a little more darker by moving this a little bit inwards. Then you can click OK and you click on the check mark. Good. So we are not satisfied yet. We are not that satisfied. So let's increase the size of this and push it up a little. Good. So you can use even your relative position to make sure that everything is on the middle. Then we are going to copy this, and as you copy, just duplicate. Use relative position to tack it to the middle. Then you can go now to layer on the layer panel and you lock it up. So after locking it up, we're still going to bring in another important element on this design. Alright, so but let's send the shadow or the fading effects, these two, let's send them down here. So watch closely how we're going to do that. There are some 8 dots here. You just need to long press on it and move it to the desired position. Good. So we want to have something like this. Alright, good. So this is fine. Now let's bring in another element, and I have this cloud PNG. Don't worry, I will leave the link to get all of these resources on the video description. Check the link on the video description. So we're also going to place this here, then we copy it as well, and we also place it here carefully. You can even reduce the size to make it fit much more fitted. Good. So just go to layer and you lock it up. Now we want to bring in the image of a lady who is traveling. So as I said, this design is all about a travel agency. So our focus is to advertise the brand, to make the brand sell out. So we have to bring in an element that depicts travel, and I have this awesome afro lady who is traveling. And what we're going to do now is to go to 3D rotate, and we're going to rotate it along the y-axis, good, by 180 degrees. Great. Then you can even reduce the size further and just place it down here like this. Good. So after placing it here, we need to bring in some shadow to stand on the legs of the lady, to show that it's in real life, it's a 3D image. So what are we going to do? We're going to click on shapes. Just click on shapes, and after clicking on shapes, I would love you to click on this touchdown button. Then you choose a circle. After choosing a circle, click on gradient. Then we're going to create our shadow. So how do we create the shadow? By clicking on this plus button, and after clicking on the plus button, come up here and choose the radial pattern of gradient, the one that has the light on the middle. So it's actually the 4th pattern. Click on it, and after clicking on it, I would love you to click here and here to set the gradient as usual. So we're going to reduce this also completely. Then you click OK. Now click on this swap button to swap the colors, because we want the black to come this way. So we're going to click here and the color is swapped. Then reduce this white, move it closer to the black, click OK and click OK. Then you have your shadow, and you can compress the shadow as you want. You can play with it to make it more real, but then we want to give it a good black color. So we're going to go to color option, enable your color, choose a black color, then click on this plus button and reduce the intensity of the black a little bit. After doing that, reduce the shadow effect So okay, sorry about that guys. So let's go and lock this up. Let's go and just lock the lady's image so that it doesn't interrupt. Good. So after locking the lady's image, you can now play around with this your shadow. Okay, we're going to place it just directly below her leg. Good. So what you need to do again is to copy the shadow. After copying it, use your position button to move it downwards to place it on the other leg, because we really want this to be more real. So that's why we have to reduce the size a little. Okay, good. So now you see how it looks very much real and beautiful. That's awesome, right? So just follow along and see how we are going to do all of it. So the next thing we want to do again is to make it more awesome. We have to make the back also has to cast a shadow. So we are still going to go to layer. Just click on your layer button. After clicking on layer, copy the shadow effect that you just created, increase the size a bit to enable you move it carefully. Then you can place it below the back, as you can see, and tap to back. For the back it should be to, oh my god. So let's undo this. Let's tap to front. Okay, so I think I did an error here. I'm not supposed to send it directly to the back because it will just go to the last element on our design, but I think this is fine, so we can leave it like this. Good. So as you can see, all the elements are now casting a shadow and it looks so real. It makes your design very much appreciable. Now we have to lock everything up and begin to write up, but then we have to import the logo for this brand. So I have their logo here with me. It's Dream Escape Travel, a travel agency. So I'm just going to bring the logo into the design and just make it somewhat big and place it here on this part of the design. So after doing that, go to layer and lock it up. And we are still going to bring in another important element, which is flight. So as you can see, this design is all about travel, and you know most travels are international travels are done by the airplane, by airlines. So after bringing this airline image, I'm also going to leave the link to get this airline this airplane on the video description. So I'll go to 3D rotate now and rotate it also completely by 180 degrees. After rotating it, just place it directly above these other elements, so we can even make it look more real by rotating it up. Okay, we'll make it look more slanting, as though the plane wants to take off. Good. So after having that, we need to bring in another important text that communicates the purpose for the design. So we are first of all going to write, we are going to bring in our text, and let's see. So we are going to bring in our text, and the first text we want to write here is explore your. So explore your, then leave it that way. After bringing it, then go to font, and we are going to use a nice script font. I prefer to use a font called Javacon. I'll also leave the link to get this font on the video description. Just check it out. So explore your, I'm going to place it here. Then I go back to text and write. So we're going to write well. Explore your well. And this should be in capital letters. Then go to font, and let's give it a nice font. Any bold font here that can work for that. So let's just give it Helvetas. And after giving it Helvetas, we're going to make it big for the sake of hierarchy. So it's explore your well. So after doing this, we still need to write some important details. So how do we do that? First of all, we are going to write on text our services. So what are the services that Dream Escape Travel offers? So I have this, and I would love to change the font into something better, and I'm going in for the Rockford Sans Light. And after choosing Rockford Sans Light, go back to color, and let's give it a somewhat green color. So we can give it this color, this light green. Then after giving it the light green color, go to shadow and enable it, because we really want it to be more visible. Good. So we're still going to go to text now. What are the services that they offer? So we're going to write. So we have passport and visa, airline, hotel booking, tourist guide, car rentals, and etc. So they do a lot of things as far as your whole travel is concerned. Now these are just a few sample of it, and they allow us to go to font and give it the same Rockford Sans Light. So we're using the same font just to emphasize on the principle of repetition, which is a very important principle of design, because it helps to emphasize some important elements. Now let's go to alignment and align these to the left. So we are using a middle alignment, a left alignment, sorry. You can use a left alignment. So after clicking on the left alignment, just click on your check mark and you are good to go. Good. So these are their services. Let's just make this to fall on 2 lines, or averagely on 3 lines. It will be okay. Good. So these are their services: passport and visa, airline, hotel booking, tourist guide, car rentals, etc. Now it's also important to include some social media handles that can make it easy to access them, and for that purpose I'm going to bring in a chunk of my social media handles icons that I have with me here. For now I just want to limit my choice of social media icons to just Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. So you can access Dream Escape Travel on these 3 social media sites for now. So after bringing in the icon, if your own icon is equally a JPEG image like this one with the background, all I'm going to do is to click on erase color to work on the color. So I'm just going to erase the color and it will automatically remove the white background. After doing that, click on the check mark, reduce the size to your desired taste. So I want to reduce the size considerably, then go to color and give it the same light green. So after giving it this same light green, use your position button to align it properly. So let's reduce the size further. Okay, good. So let's just copy this, double tap to right. So visit at Dream Escape Travels. So on all their social media handles, they are accessible with the name Dream Escape Travels on these 3 social media sites. So we're going to just leave it now this way. Okay, perfect. So we are almost done with our design, and the last thing I would love us to check is to check our alignment. Very important. So I'm going to enable the grid to see if there are some few cases of alignment that I need to touch. Okay, so I think I have some work to do here. We need to just push this So this is it, guys, for this design. Let me just unenable the grid, and this is how you can come up with a simple yet nice a travel agency flyer on your Pixellab lab application. I believe we've all learned one or two things, and I will be seeing you shortly with other interesting design tips and tutorials. But before that, do well to subscribe to the channel, share the tutorial, drop your comments on what you think, and see you some other time. God bless you.